Hi, you're here with Esperanza Vasquez, and we're here with Global City Models, and we're here with a lot of interesting people today, and they're doing something positive in their lives. And we're going to speak to one of the youngest ladies right here that I've met today. And what is your name?
Cielo Aguilera.
Cielo. Okay, you're a very interesting little girl. Can you tell me how old you are?
15.
15. Okay, Cielo, this is all your artwork. What inspired you to do all this beautiful artwork that you have different? Now, I noticed something about you. It's all faces. What? Why faces?
I love painting faces. I just think there's so much variety and so many shapes and just different people who inspired me or that I listen to. I like to paint them, or people that I love. I like to paint them. And my dad, he got me into drawing when I was about 4, and he told me, you know, you could go far with this. And I just built on my talent, and I kept going with it.
Okay, they say a lot of artists, and tell me if it's true or not. Does it show feelings, emotions in your artwork?
Yeah, I mean, when you show your feelings through your artwork, it brings a lot out, and how the colors, you know, colors show how you're feeling. I use bright colors for my grandma to show a positive.
So this is your grandma?
Yeah, this is
right
my
here?
grandmother.
And how does she feel about you? See this? That's her grandma. This is a beautiful thing, you know.
Thank you.
You must really love her a lot,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And the colors, what does it bring out to you?
It shows that I'm more positive, that because she's going through, you know, health problems, and just more positive, you know, bright colors, nothing dark, just showing that I have hope.
So it heals you.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
it's calming.
Very good. And what do your friends think about this?
They always just say, you know, it's awesome that I can, you know, paint. That I, you know, they always say, how do you make something out of lines? And just say, I just do. It's something I've kind of taught myself. My dad, he showed me the basics, and that's
So was your father an artist?
yeah, he draws.
He draws.
He does mostly pencil work, and
Is this a pencil work right here?
this is black and white paint.
So why is he look angry?
Why does it? It's based off of a real photo.
Uh-huh.
So he has more of like a stern kind of character. That's Clint Eastwood. I did that for my dad for his birthday, and he just loves this man.
He does?
Yeah.
So then you were, this is a nice gift. And what did he say?
He just said he loved it, and then, you know.
Why is
thank
this
you.
your favorite?
Because I did it for my dad. He's a big influence on what I do here.
Uh-huh.
He always pushes me, him and my mom. They're the biggest influences in my
So
life.
it's very
so,
important that you have
yes.
both parents, plus your friends, remember?
Yeah, and my sisters.
How about your teachers?
Yeah, they always give me assignments that I can express myself through. Those are usually my favorite teachers, because, you know, they always put up my work, so it motivates me to keep doing what I do.
Okay. And now we're going to go with the rest of your paintings real quickly. I know I've seen Selena. And why is she an inspiration to you?
Well, my mom, she got me into her, she started off so young, and like her dad pushed her into the music, and she kind of has like a similar background to how I live. You know, she didn't know Spanish,
Right.
and she learned through her music. So I think that's just great, and her music and how young she was. She seems like
very interesting girl.
Thank you.
And Scarface?
Scarface. I just thought he would be really interesting to paint. He has a lot of good features in his face, and I just thought he would be. He has a liney face. I like to draw here.
Yes, I see that. And you know,
Detailed
that
thing.
takes a lot.
Yeah.
Takes a lot. What do you have to say to all the young kids that are about, you started at 4, so what do
Yeah.
you have to say to everybody that, you know, if they have it inside them to proceed on?
To proceed on it and keep going, and don't let anybody else tell you different. You know, even if somebody says that it sucks, or you know that you're not good enough, you know, you just keep going and who cares what everybody else says.
I like this girl. You're pretty good. Mom, you did a good job. Very good job, Mom. And your dad did too.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for being here. I really, really think that you have a lot going on, and there's a lot of people watching. You know, we have Can TV, Channel 19, but a lot of people have been watching us. And hopefully we have a lot of artists out there, because there's a lot of artists out there.
Mm-hmm.
We want them to look at your painting. Which one's the best one that you would pick for them to see?
The best one,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say my Selena's.
Selena.
Yeah, both of them I like a lot, so I say that those are my favorite. The one where she's smiling,
Why is that?
because it shows how her personality was. She was always laughing and smiling. She was just a good-natured person.
Very good. I like it.
Thank you.
I like her. She likes Selena. And do you have any brothers and sisters that are doing the same thing as you?
Yeah, my little sister Isis,
Mm-hmm.
she loves to paint flowers, and she has a great, big imagination. She draws anything on the top of her head. And Solana, she has a lot of ideas. She's very intelligent, but she draws what's on the top of her mind too. They don't really look at things. They just they come up with characters, and they like to tell stories. They always make up little plays and stuff like that. So
Wow.
yeah, they're very creative.
Wow. You have a full house full of talent, Mom. And we hope to bring her out a lot more by doing this show, and more people, more artists can look at her and her work, and inspire a lot more other young kids out there that are looking into art. And there is possibility of going further just by expressing your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that comes out of you does explain a lot. I'm happy that you brought a picture of your grandmother. That explains a lot. Color means a lot to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a good positive. And you know what? I never thought about it that way, you know. But it's a
Yeah.
good way of bringing out your feelings towards your grandmother. I like that. And
Thank
and here for your dad. So you can see this. He's a big fan of Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. Good
Oh.
answer.
Very good. Very good. And like I said, we thank you for being here. Now we're going to go on to our next person, which is Johnny. Johnny,
Hello.
Mr. Officer Friendly.
Yes.
And Johnny, tell us what you're doing. I know you've done it, you go way back, and you have been doing a lot of positive things for the community. And I want you to tell us, how did you start, and what is the most important thing? Because I know you're into a lot of things. I know you do DJing. You're also an officer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it all started, actually, it should really start with Harv, because Harv is the inspiration to where everything started for me. I mean, I grew up on 26th Street, and it wasn't exactly the best neighborhood to grow up in. But the only thing that saved me from all the gangs and all the craziness that was going on, in my eyes, was music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started DJing. And back in the early 80s, when house music was coming about, and you had your high energy music, I loved it. My brother and his friends were DJs, and I kind of, rode their coattails. And then I joined the Boys and Girls Clubs of Chicago, which Harv was a big part of. And that's when I got involved with WCYC 90.5 FM, which is the radio station for the Boys and Girls Clubs. And when I was brought on, I was just this little kid just kind of hanging around the studio. And then Harp gave me the opportunity. I took his course, to be on air. I got my FCC license, and from there on, it just picked up. I'm close to almost 30 years of doing the DJ thing, and I love it. I love music. I love house music. House music is my thing. But just recently, I started branching out to different genres. But along the way, I've always wanted to be a Marine, so I joined the Marine Corps. And then after that, after I came out, I became a police officer. And so.
Well, you've done a great job, and I know that both of you have actually, it's my first time hearing that. How did you start? Which was good, because I remember I've listened to some of your mixes, and they're very good. You actually got into some like Latin music too, also,
that's
which is good.
Is what I wanted to branch out to some of the classic stuff in the Spanish genre that I remember growing up back on 26th Street, from all the quinceañeras, the weddings, and all that stuff. That brought back memories of not only of my youth, but also of my mom, and and my family, and my friends. Even when we crashed weddings and quinceañeras, it was just that music, and I wanted to bring that back out, because not everybody's playing the old norteñas, the old cumbias, And just recently I did a bachata one that hasn't even been released yet, but I'm trying to get into the 80s kind of like Spanish genre that was going on at the time.
Very good. I like the thought about that. You helped out in the boys club that actually got you out of like other things in the music and all that. Now, what do you tell the rest of the kids that are thinking still in the same place, not out of the box, because it takes a lot?
I'm always trying to steer kids. I work in the 5th District, which is the Roseland neighborhood. So there's a lot of stuff going on over there, and if I try to at least motivate a few of the kids that are in that neighborhood, even the better. So, but the same kind of upbringing that Harp brought to me, I'm trying to pass it on, and that's why I brought Cielo with me, because Cielo is the same thing that Harp did to me. I'm just trying to pass it on, and trying to motivate her to go forward. There's a life outside the hood.
It is.
You got to surround yourself with positive people, and I've always said that. I've always said that on Harp's show, and you got to really just surround yourself with positive people, and cut that negativity away, and it'll just take off.
And how do you know if they're negative or positive?
I mean, it doesn't take a brain surgery to know when people are, doing something wrong. It doesn't. It's not very hard. When you do something wrong,
So it's your nature already. You already sense
it. Everybody senses it. It's in everybody. So you just kind of pick and choose, as you go along, and you cut those negativity people out of your life, and it'll help you out in the long run.
Well, you have a good crowd of good people in you.
Yes, I've been blessed. I've been blessed.
I've seen that, and I this is why the reason I'm having you here, and I thank you so much for bringing Cielo here, because she's a good inspiration for a lot of us.
Yes.
And I thank you for being here. I know both of you work together in Harp. I am very, very proud of you, because you work a lot.
I don't know if I can continue, man.
Harp, you work with a lot of children, and I am very, very. I don't know how to express my feelings, because it really means a lot that I love kids, but I see that you work a lot with kids, and what does the kids do for you when you're helping them out?
I guess when it comes to the kids, it's always given me a reason to do the things that I was doing, because if you can impact the youth and you can get them to do the things that you're hoping that they would do, then it does make you feel good. I mean, Johnny was a teenager back then, and to hear him try to make me cry about whatever impact we had on him in Little Village, that's huge, because you don't necessarily intentionally go out to have this impact on the kids. You just do what you think is right, and then you hope to teach them to make wise decisions. Some of them don't make wise decisions, some of them do. And Johnny's made a lot of really good decisions, and he believes that I was part of that process, and that's strong. Like I say, it wasn't necessarily an intentional thing. You know, I've done youth work for more than 30 years, and it's just my way of giving back because I was a Boys and Girls Club kid myself in the Westtown area, and I wound up growing up in the club that, working the club that I grew up in. Then I wound up becoming a club director in the same organization that I grew up in, and then I branched out to do some other things. And it's always, to me, it's always been about giving the youth opportunity to do well. If they don't do well, then you figure out a way to kind of set them straight and hope that they succeed.
Good. So you're like a father role for a lot of these kids that don't have parents, and some do, right?
Some of them have said so. It could be anything. I mean, you could be a big brother or an uncle or a mom or whatever, because the kids are, unfortunately, kids are missing out on a lot of things. Most families aren't intact these days. That kind of stinks. There's a lot of communities, you know, like Johnny was talking about, the Roseland community, where there's just a lot of positivity missing. The influences that are out there that they're following are not necessarily the best ones. So through the work with the Boys and Girls Clubs and then eventually the radio station, I always felt that those would be nice positive directions that we could get the kids off on.
Yes, I understand you have a radio station for children, is that correct?
It's a radio show that focuses on kids, and it also focuses on community. So I'll feature kids with the Boys and Girls Clubs, I'll feature kids with the school that I now work at, and then I do some alternate programming with community groups, local figures, you know, people that maybe wouldn't get a spotlight, that would get a spotlight, and they could be actors or actresses or comics or somebody like Cielo who's an artist.
Right.
And these are the kinds of people that need to be out there. If it's a Latino target, all the better. If it's a youth target, all the better. I look for interesting people whose stories deserve to get told and don't always get told.
And what's one of your most interesting stories that you've had in your radio?
Most interesting stories that I've had.
Or positive?
Well, even the negative ones you would think, you know, would be positive because they're learning experiences.
Right.
I had a gangbanger want to be on the air at WCYC years ago, and you could tell. And so I decided to show him what work was about. And okay, we're going to write the news, and we're going to get it off the wire, and then we're going to work the microphone. We're going to have to do some demos before we put you on the air. I knew what the guy, you know, was wanting to do, and ultimately he realized it was work, so he walked away on his own.
Really? Wow.
Some of them, like Johnny, don't walk away. You know, some of them, you know, they just want that microphone. They want the opportunity to express themselves. But, you know, the gangbanger was interesting because when he walked in, the way he was talking, the way he was dressed, and again, we're on 28th and Ridgeway, so, you know, he was the rule rather than the exception. And I decided that if he could, you know, complete my little radio boot camp, then I'd go ahead and let him on the air. But I knew, you know, some people just don't want to work at stuff.
Right.
And he wasn't interested in working. He just wanted the glory.
Well, you're a good positive role model for a lot of kids, you know. And I have to say one thing, I grew up on 26th Street too. And I just grew up on listening to your music. And it brought a lot of attention, and you guys have like a big crowd of audience now. But you're directing it more to the young kids now, right?
Well, yeah, because I was with the Boys and Girls Clubs forever. Even before I wound up at the radio station on 28th Street, I was the club kid in Westtown, then I was the program director in Westtown, then I was the club director in Humboldt Park, then I was the program director in Little Village. So it was always about youth, and it's always been about me wanting to give back to the organization overall that impacted me the most, which was the Boys and Girls Clubs. If not for them, I'm not certain where I would have ended up or what I would have wound up doing. So I always look at it as kind of a give back. And then there's always that good feeling when you've got club kids that become police officers, that become lawyers, that become doctors. A lot of our radio kids at CYC, they're very prominent radio personalities now.
Right.
And these are the ones that you get a kick out of them, you know, showing off. So it wasn't necessarily about me, it was about giving them opportunity and then watching them, you know, do it.
Grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the most rewarding thing that, you know, you feel from them when you see them? They're all growing, they come back to you?
I think that would be the most rewarding thing, when they come back, when they remember you, when they have their own stories to tell about that one moment of impact that you might have had on them. I mean, it's kind of a selfish feeling, because you know you're kind of like, boy, I really hope that one day they come back, because they don't tell you when they're 12 years old. They normally don't tell you when they're 15. You know, they when they're 32, they go, boy, if it wasn't for that program, if it wasn't for that
Right.
facility, man, who knows where I would have wound up. At the moment, they're just taking it in. And at the moment, we're just giving. And when it comes back to you, when they're adults or when they want to introduce you to their kids and say, this is the guy that meant so much to me growing up, yeah, that's strong.
That is very, very rewarding. You're almost like a teacher. You're almost, not almost, you are a teacher beyond the teacher. Because of the reason that teachers get rewards the same way, because I talk to a lot of teachers and when they come back, the students and everything, but you're way beyond that.
Well, there are some things that you're forced to learn in order to get along. So you get your diploma and you're happy and you get excited and you get your degree. Then there are things that you want to learn, stuff that you sign up for, stuff that you really want to do. And then there's things that you learn when you don't realize you're learning them. And then it comes back to you when you become an adult and when you have your own kids. And those are the rewards, those are the lessons that probably mean the most. When you hit a kid at 3 in the morning, it just snaps and goes, wait a minute, that's what he was talking about. Those are the lessons that are valuable, at least in my line of work.
So what do you have to say to all the children out here? Do they listen to your radio station?
I have no idea. I mean,
Where can we
they
listen
may.
to you? What's your radio station?
I do a Saturday morning show now at 1590 AM, and it focuses on kids and community and culture, because that, to me, that's all important. It ends up online as well, so if they're not up at 6 in the morning on a Saturday, I work at a school now, and I still have contact with the club that I used to direct in Humboldt Park. And so, to me, the message always is that they're important, and there's a reason that they're here, and they're here to have an impact. Now, the type of impact they're going to have, it's really up to them. Every now and then, they're going to have an impact that they're not going to be proud of, and then, you know, what are they going to do to fix it? Because we're not going to reach everybody, but if we reach enough of them, they're going to be huge as time goes on, and then our job is done. You know, then we can just kind of kick back and watch them. We watch Cielo take over the world and remember that we were here when she was 15 years old.
Well, you've done a wonderful job, both of you, and I'm very proud to have you. I've been after these guys for a while, and I've been really wanting them to come here for the reason that they're positive role models for the community and for everybody else here. And this is why I have them here at Global City Models.
Well, it was my model looks, you have to admit that.
Oh yes,
Look at this.
definitely. Harv has the model look. But I have one thing to say to Cielo. Are your paintings for sale?
Yes. Or, well, not the
Not that one.
Scarface, not the.
So you have options, but you
yes,
could do.
I sell my work.
You
yes.
sell your work. Very good. I'm going to put you in women empowerment. Well, we want to wrap it up, and we want to thank everybody for being here. Is there anything that you guys want to say to Global City Models before we wrap it up?
No, we're good. I think you've done a good job, at least in my case, of covering, you know, what we're here for, and you know, in terms of the youth and the impact. And I kind of got misty a little when Johnny was talking about whatever it was I did 20-some years ago, but it's kind of nice to hear it, because sometimes you don't.
Well, I've been listening to you, and I didn't even know who you are. It's the first time I meet you.
You should be crying.
I am.
Okay, on the inside.
On the inside. But, you know, we thank you for being here, and
Thank you for having us.
and I thank you for bringing Cielo. The young youth is always important here. And thank you guys for being here. We're here with Global City Models, and we'll be right back. Hi, you're here with Esperanza Vasquez with Global City Models, and we're here with 3 positive role models that are doing something positive in their life, and we're here to interview them. We're going to start here first with Lloyd. Lloyd, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm doing just beautiful. You're here because you came back because the first time I interviewed you, you were about to go to New York, and where else?
At the New York, I was going to be heading to Minneapolis, Minnesota. That would be in October 13th, that I would be heading out there.
Okay, and what is it you do?
Well, I do martial art, and I travel from state to state, especially around the world, too, to compete and making a name for myself out there, too.
And tell me how you won your championship in New York.
Well, the first time I got on a plane, I went to New York. I was really excited because I'd never been to New York before, and it was first experience. The transportation was a little bit hard to understand it, but I got, used to it. I began to understand it, and it was a very beautiful experience being in New York. I stayed in Brooklyn, then I went to Manhattan, New York. I saw the Empire State Building. I went on the ferry and saw the Steady Island, the Statue of Liberty. I mean, it was fantastic. The experience of New York is beautiful.
Very good. And tell me, what inspired you to win this fight that you went to New York? Because I know you sent me a message that you had won it.
I remember I mentioned to you that I was going to win for you, and I dedicate this event for you, and
Thank you.
I won the Karate International Champion in the Twin Tower Classic.
Wow, I'm flattered. I really, really want to thank you. I mean, I'm glad that I inspire you to win, but I know you won some other ones. And who else has inspired you? Your parents, your mom?
My mother,
Mm-hmm.
because she's the one that pushed me to get my name up in the competition, so she helps me a lot, and she wants me to succeed in life, and that was the thing. Also, the other group called Team Bring It, that's also supported me, and they wanted me to go out there because I am under a group that their headquarters is in Florida. And they also have a website called www.bringitkarate.com.
Right.
You can buy shirts, sport gears, hoodies. They have everything in that website.
And tell me, you're also going to go fight where else, did you say?
I'm going to be heading to Minnesota on October 13th, and then I'm going to be heading to Miami, Florida for the Pan America International.
Wow. And what is that bringing out of you by doing all this?
What
Does this bring out of you by going around, fighting? What does that bring out of you?
Well, I'm fighting for the cause. I'm fighting for people with disability. I'm fighting to prove to them that they can do it too. And what the organization that I'm competing in, they don't know that I'm born hard of hearing, and that's the reason I'm the first guy to compete in the mainstream level, and that never happened.
Wow. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. Lloyd, I'm speechless. I am very speechless. I admire you. And what is one of the reasons that brought you to this? I know you said your mom, but how did you get started on this?
How did I start it and all this? Well, when I was a little kid, I had watched Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee. And the reason I saw Bruce Lee doing his martial art, I did the same thing. Whatever he was doing on TV, I was doing exactly the same thing on TV. So my mother, she kind of saw that I was doing the same thing, and she was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to put you in the martial arts. So it was my mother and my brother that decided to put me in the martial art, and the first martial art that I took was Taekwondo. And then from there on, the tournament that I competed back in 1992, I was competing in tournament. They didn't know who I was. I was just a new person and a competitor. So when I started winning tournament, they gave me a nickname, and it wasn't by me or by my instructors. It was by the people who gave me the nickname, and the nickname that they gave me was Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. Wow. That's a good theme for a title for a book. But let me ask you one more, and then we're gonna go into our next person right here, which is Darlene. But I have one quick question, and I know you're interested in also being an actor and a model. Is that correct?
That is correct. Movie actor, modeling. I just want to get out there. I would love to work with anybody who would like to get me into it.
And why do you think you want to do acting and modeling?
I like to do it for the fun, and I always want people to get to know me better and better. And then if I ever get a chance to become successful, I would like to get involved in St. Jude Hospital, helping people with cancer, helping people who's poor. I would like to get involved with all those things, and that's the reason why I want to get into it. I know I can act. I believe in myself. I believe in God, who gave me strength to do this.
And you are very well rounded, and this is why I brought you back. because I like your positive spirit. I like that you are very, very heart-giving. And I love the thing about coming back to the children. You like kids, with, you know, that to help out the kids. Why is that?
Yeah, I do.
Why is that, Lloyd? Why you want to help out the kids?
Because when I see them, when I see children with cancer, you know, I feel, I cry too deep inside, you know, and I feel their pain too. And when I see that I feel their pain, you know, I'm feeling the pain deep inside my heart, and I would like to get involved. And I hope that one day that they do find a cure for children who have cancer. And I pray to God day and night for that to happen.
Well, that's very, very rewarding. You know, that's very positive thing coming out of you. You know, I like that. Your mom must have really brought you with some good morals, good values. We're very happy to have you here. And thank you for being here. And we're going to wish you a lot of luck. And we'll have our prayers, my prayers, to you so you can win the next championship. And then you can text me and let me know if you want it.
Okay, thank you.
All right?
Good luck.
Now we're going to go back to with Darlene. Comes right into from model, actor, he wants to. Now I know I met you, and you say you're from New York.
That's right.
We met each other at Steve Harvey show.
We sure did, thank God. Thank you, Jesus. Everything happens for a reason.
And I'm happy to, when you show me your picture, I was like very, very, you see, remember, it's like when I walk in places, it's like I always look for people that look like some kind of energy. I saw you, and then you show me your picture, I'm like, wow, how did you get there?
Well,
First of all, tell us what you do.
well, right now I'm a nursing student, and I'm pursuing my career in the nursing field in the NICU for my BSN, my bachelor's. And I've just been going and going. And the only thing I can tell people is, especially going back to school thinking that you can't do it, follow your dream. And if you don't have a dream, if you don't have a clue, get one. Because life is so short and anything can happen, and it doesn't take anyone else to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself first. Don't go looking for anything else. You got to find it within yourself. And I was working in the corporate environment, you know, for many years, and I just felt like there was no connection between me and the paperwork and all the negotiations that I was doing, and I just felt so detached. And one day, I was getting ready to give birth to my son, and he was born premature, and that's what made me want to give back, and my whole world changed from there. And that's how I led into the nursing program. And going forward, recently, a couple of months ago, I turned, believe it or not, a lot of people don't believe me, but I'm 37, and they're like, oh my goodness, you're just, what? You were born in 1970, what? And I said, yeah. So I wanted to start doing a couple of different things for my children, you know, and I have 3 children, thank God, and my daughter's 16 now. And I wanted to just always look beautiful and always, you know, keep myself up, you know, up on top and just ambitious and keep going for the next thing. If I set one goal, I'm going to set another 3, accomplish 1, and keep going and write another goal. And I want my children to see that. And before I knew it, it was a photo shoot that I did just for my children, and that's it. And someone saw my picture online, and they said, I want to submit it, you know. And I said, oh, okay, not a problem. And before I knew it, within a month, it was on Times Square. And it was on a billboard, and it was lights, camera, action, you know. And before it, it was right before my eyes. And after that, it was another billboard, and another billboard, and another billboard. And people just started calling me. And here I'm thinking that I'm going to be a nurse. Here I'm thinking, well, this is my passion. I want to help children. I want to give back to the community. My mother's from Colombia. My father's from Puerto Rico. And my mother struggled with 5 girls, you know, and here I am. And I never thought I would be there. So here I am, and I'm so grateful.
And you know what? It makes you a better person in spirit, and you're a stronger woman. Now that you have your children, and you know, you're actually experiencing a whole different life. But I am very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud, and if I go to New York, I'm gonna look for your poster, and I'm gonna look for you
Thank you.
everywhere.
I have another billboard coming up in 2 weeks, as a matter of fact, and
Congratulations.
I'm marching in Central Park for women with breast cancer, all
Very
types
good.
of breast cancer, and I always donate. And one of my sons, he has long hair, and he's just turned 7 yesterday, as a matter of fact, and he's going to donate his hair to Locks of Love for children. And he said, "No, Mom, I don't want to throw it in the garbage. You know, maybe someone else can use it." And I said, "Fine." You know, and when people see me and they say, "Oh, you know, you should be a model, and you've always been a model," and I'm like, "No, I'm just starting this, and I just want to see where it takes me. I just want to try, and if it helps me to just gain the next experience, I will." But my passion is to open a hospital.
See, and that's what I find from you, that you're a caring person, because you're in the medical field, and a lot of people that are in the medical field, they're usually very caring. You have to have that passion.
You have to. It's a hit or miss. It's either you have it or you don't, you know. And I
Right.
want to be that person that gives and cares. And when the parents walk away, I want to be the one that's taking care of those children. You know, like they're safe with me. It's okay. Because it was one point in my life where my son was born, and he was born premature at 2 pounds.
Right.
And my heart was broken, and I said, how can I give back? How can I give back to my community? And my whole life changed. And again, it's changing again with this whole modeling and acting, and I'm like, okay, you know, that I'm gonna go for it.
Very
I'm gonna go
good.
for it. You just never know. You just never know what's gonna
I'm
happen.
very proud of you, and this is why I
Thank you.
actually spotted you when I first spoke to you. I could tell right away when I see positive people and I see them on my Facebook. I believe it or not, I work 24/7, but I'm always reading people's things on Facebook. I listen to them. I see their spirit, and I capture a lot of good, you know, positive. I love positive role models. And what do you have to say to other mothers that are out there doing the same thing?
Well, that's a good one, because a lot of people told me to just hang it up. You know, they're gonna call me ugly. I mean, I've been called ugly. I mean, I've been getting the inboxes, and I don't care. I'm serious. They're like, "Oh, you're too ugly, you're too fat, you have a big butt, blah, blah, blah." And I said, you know what, I don't care, because I'm representing me. I'm representing a lot of individuals out there, you know, may it be Hispanic, may it be Jewish and light-skinned, Russian, black, it doesn't matter, especially for single women, because there are a lot of battered women out there. There are a lot of women out there that are not encouraged, that have children at a very young age. They don't pursue their career. They don't continue on in their education, and there is no one around to say you can do it. You know, just think, just look deep within yourself and see what is it that you really want. And you can do it, whether it's modeling or being a doctor or whatever it is that makes you feel happy, as long as you're educating your children and having respect and putting God first before anything and anyone, it will be there for you.
And very good. I thank you so much
Thank you.
for bringing your hearts out here. Now we're going to go to our Tony. Tony, you're a writer.
Oh,
Tony, tell us about yourself. And I know I've been reading some of your things, and I see that there's a lot of romance in your. I know you're writing a book. You said you were.
Yes.
And this book, I know you told me that it's not completely finished, but you're to the process already finished, or did you finish it already?
It's already finished, but I'm on my second book. It's a sequel. It's a novel.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
And I'm always constantly adding a lot of paragraphs. So when am I going to end it?
So, I mean, I really am very interested, because it's interesting what you express yourself. It's a lot of romance. How do you deal with this? You know, because you know, romance is very hard. Do you get do you ever fall into those categories, and then you express it in your writing?
I would say in my 20s, I used to date a lot, and there was a lot of contrast between being passive or being confident, and so I went and experienced romance. And of course, you know, when you go to the extreme, you really don't become successful. And in the process of my book is to be able to differentiate the difference between the two, because a lot of men or women, they enter the relationship with the wrong intentions,
And expectations.
and not just only relationship, but just interaction in general. And but romance is very complex. It could be rewarding. It depends who you meet. But
I read something about you, and I remember it just caught my attention. I don't know if you recall, but I have very good memory. Something that you wrote about a woman when you date somebody, she starts her knee, moving her knee, and then starts shaking it back and forth. What-
oh, body language.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm. I remember that. Why body language for? Do you understand a lot of the body language in a woman? Because we all have different. We're all different.
Right.
And I told you something different. She could be nervous, or she just wants to get the heck out of it.
Right.
Right.
You know. But tell me what you think.
Body language is very important.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't see the connections. They jump into conclusion right away. For example, let's say if you're in a nightclub and you approach somebody and their body language shifts to the nearest exit, chances are the person got really bored or lost interest. So body language is important. So they will save you the embarrassment. It will save you the funny, unpleasant experience when you meet, and you could tell if the person is interested or not. So you could gracefully exit.
Mhm. So have you had any experience now, besides the clubbing? Because I know everybody goes to clubbing and everybody knows this. It's like it's for fun. And you're going
Right.
to find nothing but fun people. Now, where is it that you can go for serious? And I know a lot of people say, you know, what's one of the places where you think that you'll find somebody that's more serious about it, romance?
You could try different events that you have something in common. They have like social events that you could meet people. You could gather their feedback. Starbucks, believe it or not, I'm not an advocate of Starbucks, but people do meet there and they just sit down, they have a cup of coffee, and then from there develop some type of connection, and then you could take it from there. There could be a lot of places.
You think a coffee, that's something that smooths you, you know, like warms you, your body? Because you're talking about body language again. It relaxes you. I'll tell you
No,
one
coffee
thing.
for me, it's more of enjoyment. I enjoy the caffeine.
Yeah, that's addicting. Believe me, I never thought I would get into coffee. I never drank coffee until one day I started doing this promotion for espresso. Forget that. I'm like, that's it. No more of that.
Espresso.
You know, espresso. Oh,
Does it
God.
really keep you up? Does it like?
Yeah, it is.
I just
Yeah.
It's
I don't
energizing.
drink coffee, so it's like.
no, I never did neither until one time I tried it.
Really? Is it addicting? Like,
It could. You know, when you work a lot and you put a lot of hours, I'll tell you what I direct it to in a more positive way is exercising. That's my way of keeping up. You know, if I exercise, bring out my energies to somebody else, it's way better. It's a better, more rewarding
Gotcha.
experience. But when I go get coffee, I just want to be left alone all the time. And I always get somebody coming to me
Well, yeah.
all the time, and they're like, "Oh, can we meet?" I'm like, "No, please. It's alone time today."
Right.
But I don't mind meeting people because this is my job all the time to meet people. I like positive role models, but sometimes I just want my little
Little
box,
space.
just my space for myself. And I sit there and I can guarantee you, I can never sit down by myself because I always have somebody coming up to me.
You're like this magnet everyone wants to be next to.
It's not, you know, sometimes I think it's maybe because I smile, and sometimes a good smile, and, you know, being nice, friendly is good. But tell me something, Tony, does that bring some, sometimes bad energies to other people, or do you think that men confuse it? Because you know how they say men are from Venus and women are from Mars. Tell me about that.
Right.
there are misunderstanding between the two agendas because the expectation is a lot different. You have a guy that he wants one thing in his mind, and then she wants security, and then, okay, now where do we meet? And one guy doesn't want to surrender, meaning that, okay, I'll take you to the 20th date. Hopefully something will happen from there. He says, no, I want to happen within 3 dates. And so I think there's the confusion. Then the interest level just diminish once you pass a certain amount of dates. But also it depends what people are looking for too.
It's true. Very true. What if you find a woman that's already secure? What
That's a good
happens then?
question.
And she's a secure.
She's a very secure like me. I'm very confident. I mean, it's like, and sometimes guys get scared of me. I don't know why. I'm very confident, you know. So where do you find a woman like that?
Where?
No, what if you find a woman like that? I mean, I look for somebody that's very confident and more confident, almost in the same level. What do you recommend?
I would strongly recommend when a person should be established first. And I encourage a lot of people that let their passion become their motivation, the pivotal in their life, so they could be secure themselves. And then when they meet a woman who is secure, you could both have something in common to share. And when a person, especially if a man is not secure, and he meets, and then you're going to have a lot of conflict because he might feel inferior. But if he's established himself already, and she meets a career woman or she's already established, then they have something in common to be able to share.
And see, it's different because, you know, it's like for me, I don't look for, you know, it's hard to say this because, you know, it's very, very, money is not important, but I'm a woman of life experience. It's not important to me. Most important thing to me is spirit, what's in the inside, and how you are. That's all that's important for me. I mean, it's, I don't know how to instill this on a lot of people that there are insecure, a lot of, you know, and they don't feel that they have it, but I sometimes try to help out these people to make more, you know, get more confident, more secure about themselves. And if I can do it, you can do it too, you know. It's like,
That's right.
I'm there to help out a lot of people, but what do you recommend for people that are like that? You know, they just don't get it. Because there is people out there that are just trying to help out, trying to make you, I could see people when I could sense it, you know, and I just feel like, you know, let me just work with you. And I probably can help you out. And maybe in my workout classes or maybe in inspirational, like teaching, because I also teach Tai Chi and stuff like that. Do you recommend any kind of exercises or anything like this for romance or anything positive out there for all the listeners out there that are looking for somebody? Tony?
I don't have any no guidance because I'm not looking for romance now. So that's very difficult for me to encourage.
So why the romance in your book?
Well, it's just not really the romance. It's more how defining the two contrasts, as I said earlier, between passive and confident. And once they get a grip of understanding about between the two, then they'll be able to eliminate some of the misunderstanding between the sexes. Because we have a generation of people that were raised with single mothers. When they approach a woman, woman's going to feel so intimidated. It's like, okay, I don't need I can't be your second mother.
Right.
And that can create, versus a man that's brought up in a family, a healthy family, then he's able to provide a healthy environment. Versus, and that's why that's the purpose of my book, is to be able to shed some light and help people who are exposed to that.
Right.
So, and then if romance comes into the picture, if they want to pursue that, then they could. And I also talk about that in my book too.
Very good. And what is the name of your book?
I haven't come up with a title, but it's complete. I'm always changing. So it definitely will be out this year.
And tell us one thing about writers. What, how do this comes out of you in the nighttime or in the daytime? Because I hear some that in the nighttime. I talked to another writer. She was telling me about that. You know, it just comes out of her naturally. She doesn't even know how it does happen. Does that happen to you too?
Yes.
And
It's always, you're always concentrating. I say, oh my God, I got to put it in my smartphones or in my notepad and just got to jot it down. And then whenever you have a chance, you'll be able to compile it with the rest of your story.
Do you ever get writer's block? Like, you know, like, oh my goodness, I get stuck writing and, you know.
Yeah, you get those mental block and you have to just take at least 5 minutes, walk away and come back, and I would just come back.
well, very good. Well, we're very happy to have you. Is there anything that you like to say to all the writers out there?
My encouragement is don't give up on your dreams. Whatever challenges you have, let it become your friend. Let it become your passion, because it's going to lead you to places in life. And once you achieve and once you complete that goal, which is, in my case, for me to complete the book, and then you set another goal. Just have that dream alive.
Very good.
And also surround yourself with positive people, other writers,
Oh,
that will be able to encourage you to reach that same goal.
Very good. I like the thought about that you have positive energies, which is that's the reason that everybody's here for me, because I look for positive. So what's one of the most positive things that you experience in life?
Most a positive experience I had is that when I encourage people to pursue, whether it would be writing, singing, drawing, that they will strive for that perfection, whatever perfection that may be. And when I see them, I get rewarded for that.
Very good. Well, maybe one day we'll see your novel in a movie. Have you thought about that?
Look at that.
I thought about that.
That's a good
come
idea.
to my mind.
And
Yes.
Darlene might be one of your
That's right.
actresses.
I was just called last week for the Fast and Furious 6 with Vin Diesel and The Rock. So I'm waiting on my next call. So I'm just
Oh,
hoping,
good.
just keeping my fingers prayed, you know, crossed.
Congratulations.
And thank you. Just, you have to keep positive on everything that you
Everything.
do, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing.
Is that correct, Lloyd? Positive?
I think positive, you know.
All the time. Well, we're here. We're very happy to have all these positive role models, and this is why you're here in my show, Global City Models. We thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And, well, like I said, you know, it's like we hope and we wish everybody here, and
That's right.
great, from my heart, I wish you the best. And I hope this show, other people and directors and writers and people that want to, like, are looking at you,
Right.
see you right here with us, the Global
Thank
City
you.
Model. Because we have become more and more, and I started off as a small show, and it just started bringing a lot of rewards to me. You know, now that I go places, it's like I see people, oh, I want to be in your show. Can I take a picture? One time I was hiding, and I'll never forget, I went by myself again, and all of a sudden this guy comes up to me and tells me, are you Esperanza? And I'm like, why? And he
Right.
says, I want to take a picture
I
with
want
you.
to take a picture with you.
So, I mean, that's the funny thing. It's like, I don't even know who, you know, I just want to be real. I'm
Right.
just the same girl, humble person. Where I grew up, I still live there. I don't, you know, it's just, I say hello to everybody and keep it real once you become somebody.
That's right.
Always keep it real.
And never forget where you came from.
Never forget where you came from. That's the most important thing. You know, I know it's rewarding once you get up there, but I see a lot of actors and actresses and, you know, because I do a lot of things with TV shows, and I bump into a lot of people where I started from here, and then I see them up there, and, you know, I always congratulate them. I'm happy for them. But keep it real.
right.
being good and positive. We thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with us. Hi, you're here with Esperanza Vasquez, and we're here with Global City Unity. And if you're interested in, and you're an actor, model, or also if you have any kind of talent, whether it's a singer, a rapper, bring it to us. At Chicago's Talent, we're here. You can be in our next event, and you can look us up. We are here with some of the hottest rappers right now. And I want to introduce them and go one by one to see what we're going to hear today, all right? We are here in Chicago, and tell us a little bit more about yourself. Come on over here, sweetie. What is your name?
My name's Jay Prince.
And Jay Prince, what are you doing? What do you usually do?
Well, I'm an upcoming rapper with Team Hustle. Right now, you know, we're just working on different couple of projects right now. Just trying to, you know, man, get a city something new and something different. And
tell us, what is your colors that you're wearing right here? It's like, does that represent your rapping or anything?
No, it's nothing in particular. Just, man, you know, man, we for the home team, you know. So, man, we live, man, highly on what we stand for. So the red and black, man, you know, it's something that we love. So, I mean, that's what it is.
Thank you so much. And let's talk to our second person right here. Would tell us your name and tell us why you're here.
Yeah, I'm Young Law, and I'm here to put my team on the top because that's where we ought to be.
All right. And tell me something really quickly. What inspired you to do this rapping?
I've been doing poetry since a youngin', and I've been rapping for a long time now. Who inspired me or what inspired me to rap is it seems like it's keeping me out of trouble. It seems like it's a way for me to express my feelings and let the world know what part of what time or frame that we're coming from and I'm coming from. So I like to express my words and my knowledge to the youth and the older by lyrics.
And does this bring a lot of positive role models to you?
It brings a lot of positive role models to me. It brings a lot of negative role models, or, you know, just a lot of negative people to me. But the feedback, you know, if you could change 3 negatives with 1 positive, I feel like we accomplished something. So, you know, you just got to keep pushing and go for what you know.
That's what's up. Now we're going to talk to our next one. Come on over here and tell us who you are and what you do. Because you're the quiet one, all right? So I want you to tell us what you're doing, and also you have a CD and you have a manager also that's here and our audience. And she spoke very well about every one of you. Tell us.
What's up, Chicago? This Crunk Baby. For y'all that don't know, that's Illinois' King of Crunk.
And they say you have the charisma. Very true to your manager. Who do you have to thank here also?
Yeah, big shouts out to my manager. I'm kind of like, it's like Pinky and the Brain over here. I'm kind of like the brain, because quiet as kept, real is real. We just some, you know, people from some brothers from the streets, man, who done been through a lot, you know, struggling, striving. And it's just so much going on in the city of Chicago, kids killing kids. It's like crazy out here. We got all these rappers that's, you know, getting a chance to make it out the hood, and then they still winding up in, you know, garbage, bull crap. So we just, you know, trying to get out there, man, and let them know what's real in the field. That is some people out here who been doing what y'all trying to do. We trying to really get up out of here, you know, trying to get up out of here. So when we do come back, we can give back.
Well, we thank you very much. And we're here. And we're very happy, like we said. We're here with Global City Unity, and we are here with some of the hottest rappers tonight here in Chicago.